Hey guys, it's Vintage Vinny, and welcome to the second part of a two-part thrift store haul. You are all about to see the smaller items that I picked up. If you would like to see the larger items, I'll go ahead and link it right up here so you can check it out after watching this segment. I've got a great assortment of smalls like I usually do, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you all. Stay tuned! So what did you all think of all of those larger items? I mean, I thought I got some pretty cool stuff. So now we can go ahead and jump into the smaller items. So the very first thing I guess I'll show you all is something I picked up from one of the charity shops in Pennsylvania. This was originally $2.50 and then they had it marked down half off because blue tags were 50% off that day. So I paid only $1.25 for this. It is a Fashions of 1976 doll. Normally these kinds of items don't really sell all that well, but the main reason that I picked them up, or picked her up I should say, is because it was originally made for Kmart. The local Kmart that is in my town closed a week ago. Last Sunday was their last official day of business, so there really aren't any more of those stores around here anymore. The one where I used to live closed, the one up here closed. Kind of sad considering that any babies that have been born up to this point are going to be the last generation to even know what Kmart is because they're not around anymore. This was interesting. I got this at a vendor mall. This is a foursome made in Japan doll. I think it's in the original packaging. Originally they had $6.50 on it and then they just continually kept marking them down, so I got them for $2. I did look them up, and someone had one for $15. He didn't have the original tag on him, nor was he in the original packaging, so I think that might help increase the value just a little bit. I think I can probably get maybe $20, $25 for this. Oops, sorry about that. But yeah, that was definitely something interesting, and well worth what I paid for it. Got these at a thrift store for 99 cents. They are some of those small little railway signs or like street signs. We've got the sign for, drive slowly. There's a school crossing, there's a parking limit. The stop signs, of course, slow, a bus stop. They have a barcode on the back of them, but I know that barcodes were introduced in the 70s on some items. I think I might put this up on eBay for about $15 or maybe even $20. This was something that I did try researching and I couldn't find anything exactly like it. So I'm just going to give it a go because I do know that some railroad stuff can be very collectible. As you all know, I have been doing a lot more thorough research when I am at the thrift stores. Not that I didn't do it before, but I just felt like, I'm only paying this much for it. If I can still get this, I think I'll be okay. I'm not going to do that anymore. So if it doesn't have a lot of comps for an item, I'm not going to go ahead and purchase it. That's just going to be a waste of money. Anyway, so yeah, I decided to give this a go for only $1 and see what happens. Picked this up also at a vendor mall. It was half off of the price that's on here. This is a Syracuse China, it looks like restaurant wear creamer. Now I don't drink coffee, but for some odd reason, I really liked the style of this and I liked how heavy it is. And it's really, really clean. If I were to sell it, it would probably only go for about $8 to $10, but I'm gonna hold on to it because it's definitely got mid-century vibes to me. So I thought that was a really good pickup for $1 for myself. Now, it's not too often that you come across things with your name on it. I found this vintage shaving mug with my full name on it. It's also my dad's name, too. It was only 50 cents. I was glaring at all the different mugs that were around, and I kind of saw the ENT in the corner of my eye, and I was like, can that really be my name? And then lo and behold, I pick it up and then I see it. I mean, how stinking crazy is that? I never find anything with my name on it anymore. Even all the modern day souvenirs that you pick up, when you look around, they don't even have Vince, they don't have Vinny, they don't have Vincent, they don't have any of that anymore. I guess it's because it's just not a very common name anymore. So, I said that is definitely a given. I had to have this. And it's in good shape too, no cracks or chips. I think it may have been a hand-painted piece or maybe a souvenir piece from somewhere. In terms of the age, I have no idea. But I definitely knew it was older. Now this I took a gamble with because for some odd reason I just couldn't leave it behind. It was 75 cents. It's a Hawaii trivet, ceramic, and then there's cork on the back. And it's got this place where you can hang it on the wall if you choose not to actually use it. I don't know if it's actually old, but something about it really told me that it was. Like maybe it's, oh, I don't even know. But the cord to hang it just looked too clean and looked too new to say that it was vintage, but then again, what do I know? But I really liked the colors, and I just really liked the image of the fish, and I like the embossed detail on it. It was just something that I couldn't leave behind, and I set it down and looked at some other stuff, and then I just said, no, I can't leave this behind, so I went ahead and grabbed it. What do you all think? Do you think it's older, or do you think that it is a more modern-day souvenir? Let me know in the comments below. So, lo and behold, I go into this one thrift store and I find a ton of great things. And there are things that are not vintage, of course, that are not going to be shown in this video, but I scored big. I found another McCoy smiley face mug for 99 cents. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pair this one with the other and sell them both as a set for like 20 bucks. I think they will definitely sell for that. Very faintly can you see the McCoy mark on there, but isn't that awesome? Another one for nothing. For a while, I kept seeing them at antique shops and people wanted like $8 and $9 a piece, and I was not ready to pay that. Also from the vendor mall, I found another one of these really groovy smiley face glasses. This one was originally marked $1, and then they had half off of their booth, so I only paid 50 cents for it. I have kind of slowly but surely faded away from the smiley face stuff of the 60s and 70s, but if I see something that's really interesting or that I've been looking for a while, such as these tumblers, I think they're made by Libby, but I could be wrong because it's not marked on the bottom. I will go ahead and pick them up because I've been looking for them for so long, and there's a vendor at one of the antique malls that I visit monthly, and they have a set of these and they want $70 for them, so anytime I can find these glasses on the cheap, if I have to wait to build up a somewhat large collection of them, I will go ahead and do that. Because I'm not paying 70 bucks outright for just 12 glasses. I think that's insane. This next item is, of course, vintage. It's new old stock. It's a picnic and party plastic tablecloth. I really like the images of the packaging. It was originally 99 cents, but blue tags were 50% off at this Goodwill that I visited, so I only paid 50 cents. Like I said, I really liked the images of the the graphics and images of the packaging is what I was trying to say earlier. Originally it went for 49 cents, so that's what I basically paid. Here's what the back looks like. They just don't make stuff like this anymore, and it's really cool to see how things were made and advertised back in the day. Now this cost me $1.99. I've been holding it on my lap here. Maybe I should have hung it up, but it would have just been a pain. I don't know if this is handmade or if this was made by a company. I'll just show you all the pattern itself because it's kind of odd to have to hang. So this is a Rugrats soccer, I think it's like a children's house coat maybe. I think it was $1.99, and I couldn't find anything like it on eBay, so possibly it could be a handmade piece or they just took off the manufacturing tag. Probably from the early to mid 90s. As you all know, the whole 90s cartoons thing is becoming trendy amongst my generation, so I think I'll have no problem selling this for somebody who wants to have it for nostalgic purposes or let their own kid wear. So I paid $1.99 for it, and I think I might try to ask anywhere from 25 to 30 bucks. And I think that will be an easy shipper because you can just fold this and throw it into a bubble mailer and it'll be out of here. Alright, so the last bit of smaller stuff that I found, let me go ahead and adjust the camera here, are things that I absolutely love, and I really didn't do any hesitation or have any hesitation buying these when I saw them. The first being this really cool Old Spice aftershave lotion bottle. I paid $2 for it. I'd seen them before, and I had no idea how they worked. I thought this was a pump, and you had to like push it down to actually get the lotion to come out. But what you do is you actually just pull it, the little tab, and I love smelling it even though it kind of stinks. But you all know that medicine cabinet that I picked up from the Restore for $2.50. What I'm going to do when I get my own house is I'm going to use that mirror in the bathroom, and when you open it up, you're going to see a ton of old school, like, product. Like, you know, stuff like this, some shave mugs, shave brushes, just old packaging of products that people would use back in the day. Old Spice does still make stuff. However, I'm glad that there's more of a selection now because back in the day, there really wasn't a lot of stuff that men could choose from for hygiene and for shaving, so it's nice to see that there's a more variety of stuff for us, as opposed to just limiting it to one thing that was out. Now, don't get me wrong, that's how things were back in the day, and that's just what they had, so they went with it. But it's nice to have a great selection, that way everyone's not using the same old thing. Oh, before I forget, if you're ever looking for this stuff to resell, always look to see if it is made by Schulten. The Schulten stuff does tend to sell better. According to my dad, anyway, because he has been collecting and selling shaving stuff for probably the last 8 years. So he's learned a lot, and I've learned a lot along the way from that as well. Now, this came from the same thrift store that I picked up the Bicentennial doll. This is a 70s Coca-Cola, I guess this is for the Olympics, patch. It was only $1. They had one section that had like small trinkets that were like, you know, a quarter up through $1. And this was one of the items that I grabbed. And normally I don't really go for Coca-Cola stuff that was from the 70s. But for something like this, I can just throw it in my jar of old stuff and call it a day. It'll just be something cool to add to that. This was a quarter. I think this is probably from the 70s. It's just one of those small little mugs. No markings on it to indicate how old it is. But it's got an elephant, and I guess he is just letting water fall out of his trunk. Kind of neat, right? Now, the last thing that I picked up was 50 cents. He had some glasses with him. Where they fell to at the moment, I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly old, but for some reason, something's telling me that it is. There's no markings on the bottom of it. No cracks or chips on him, but I was getting vintage vibes from him. I thought he was cool. He had some glasses, like I said, but they fell off before filming this, so I couldn't show it to you all with them on him. But I thought he was definitely interesting, and if he's not really worth a ton of money, I'll keep him for myself and throw him in the jar. From my Salvation Army in town, they had a bunch of these I think they originally came with the plastic floral arrangements. There were other ones, but I was being really, really good and not trying to buy every little vintage thing that I find, so I picked this one out of all of the ones that they had. So I'm going to throw that with all of my vintage Easter stuff, and for 25 cents, that was well worth it. That's how much the other ones were too, but like I said, I was being good, and I wasn't just going to buy every little thing that was vintage because it was cheap. That's not what we're supposed to do here. Alright, I'm going to show you both of these items together. Now, I did send a lot of my product and all that, you know, hygienic stuff to the auction that wasn't worth a ton of money or wasn't really worth my time to have purchased. So I went ahead and sent that off to the auction, which, by the way, I haven't gotten a check from them yet. But I'm going to call them and see if I need to go pick it up, because it's right around the corner from my house, so I have no trouble getting over there. But anyway, I found these. These, I think, are from the 70s, or probably more like the 80s. I did pay $4 a piece for them. This one is Charlie, and I think I can probably get $25 for this bottle here, because it is practically full. Now this one is called, if I pronounce this wrong, I'm incredibly sorry, Raffinée. Again, it was $3.99. Now when I found it, the spritzer for the atomizer was lodged into the cap, so I had to pull that out, and I really smelled like an old lady as I was walking around this store, and I was being really self-conscious about it. Now this little sticker here has been messed up, so you can't really read it unless you take it off and actually put it on like a piece of paper or some other solid color surface. But this one, I think, of the two is going to do the best. I think I can get about $40 for just this bottle here. Now the last item that I grabbed specifically because I knew exactly who made it without even having to look around for a manufacturer tag. And I was really surprised to see that she doesn't go for a lot of money, but I like her for myself. I found a Joseph Original birthday angel. I only paid $1 for her. As you can see, 99 cents. And the only real flaw with her is that some of her paint on her wing has come off and there's some slight chipping, but other than that, she's in beautiful condition. She almost reminds me of Cinderella. I do know that in the 1980s they reissued these. I believe this is one of the original ones from the 60s, because judging by the style of the girl's face, it definitely had a more detailed, modern look to her. But I think I'll hold on to her because she is wearing the same color dress as the Cinderella that I have on display currently. So I thought for $1 that was pretty fair, because usually when I go to antique shops and they have these, people want like $15, $16 for them. So I thought that was a really, really good buy. So that is everything I'd like to share with you all today. But before I go, I do want to show you all something that you saw in my last video that I thought I would update you on. So let's go ahead and check that out. So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to know when new videos are posted. All the links to my social media accounts via Instagram are down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!